Watch Dogs Legion, the third game in a franchise that started on controversy. Watch Dogs 1 was a lackluster game about hacking. It had a fan base, but definitely fell short of what a AAA normally aims to achieve. It didn't help that at one time, Ubisoft was on its money train tirade of releasing Assassin's Creed games every year, Just Dance, and other games that give them fat pockets of gold bars. Even those games fell short though, with microtransactions and other issues. But that's a story for another day. You're going to hear that a lot, by the way. There's a lot of things I want to go into, but it would require us having a hour-long video about discussing big company conglomerate game industry tactics and just things that don't ring true in my book. Also, sorry if you hear my roommate's dog in the background. I forgot to close the door before I started recording. Watch Dogs 2 was a step in the right direction. Featuring a unique protagonist who has interesting parkour moves, and the city was also interesting. I believe it was like Chicago, which was pretty cool in my book. I think you can do a lot of interesting things with different cities. You can kind of make the city its own character, and I do think Ubisoft is really good at that, sort of developing a game world. I got in a talk with that with another streamer, shout out Party Hardy, but we were talking about how Ubisoft does really good world design, but not really good game design. Give those guys a raise, whoever's making the world designs of the Ubisoft games. But anyways, I remember a specific moment. I remember a specific moment where Marcus wakes up on a beach after a night of partying. Basically, I think he gets into sort of like he meets DedSec through a party, and he wakes up on a beach with like a hacking phone or whatever, and he starts using it and asking questions about it. And I just really think that's interesting. If I know it doesn't start out exactly like that, but it does help him involved getting like wrapped up in the life of DedSec. But anyways, Marcus's daily life resumes. You just happen to get wrapped up in the drama of DedSec, but life goes on for Marcus. He's an evolving and interesting character. Yeah, it was goobified with hundreds of collectible items, but I was invested. Not because of the boring gameplay implemented from the first game, but that the interesting character who just happened to be a part of DedSec was Marcus. I think about Marcus and sort of like what he would do. It pressured me to play a bit more stealthy and to get my hands less dirty because Marcus was not a killer. I remember in the gameplay trailer, he had like an 8-ball as a weapon, and he would like parkour and like whack people in the back with an 8-ball. I mean, he's not a killer, but goddamn, that would damn near kill somebody. You could definitely make Marcus into a murder machine, similar to how you could make Aiden into a murder machine. Let's be clear, guys. I did try both Watch Dogs 1 and 2. I didn't like Watch Dogs 1, but I liked Watch Dogs 2. Something clicked with me that didn't click with me in Watch Dogs 1 that clicked with me in Watch Dogs 2, and I wholeheartedly believe it was the character of Marcus. I want to know what happened to him. I want to know that was the driving factor. And this, of course, all ties into what Watch Dogs Legion is. So Aiden was never interesting to me, but at least he was a character with motivations. He just didn't click with me. Now, Watch Dogs Legion marketing campaign. Anyone could be a hacker. Wow, how innovative Ubisoft. If you think this is a genius gameplay innovation, you definitely need to reevaluate what you know as a good game. I remember when the game was announced and all the media outlets covered it as the best thing since sliced bread. That's the moment I was convinced Ubisoft was paying sites for the coverage to generate hype. I could be wrong on that front though. I just think it's weird when media outlets cover games that generally look bad. I did like their promotional campaign. Basically, it was like this teacher teaching people how to play Watch Dogs, and he, of course they pushed the "you could play as anyone" narrative, but it was like these two friends who basically went different routes. One guy played as an old man, and one guy played as like a old lady, and they ran around the world together. And the teacher was like, "What the heck are you guys doing?" That was really interesting to me. I'm probably not gonna show any thing of that, or any clips of that, because I don't want to get DMCA'd or anything. But it was interesting. I'm probably just gonna leave generic gameplay footage over this because it's definitely just something I really want to say. not really want to show as much, but I'll just put the game on in the background. But anyways, so Watch Dogs Legion just sort of looked like a generic Ubisoft gameplay, where they only know how to mark their bad guys in red zones and put a hood on your character when they enter them. Does anyone else find that really weird that every single one of their games is like that? Don't forget your generic chests with currencies, and then in the pause menu, they remind you of their DLC store. Because spend money, that's all Ubisoft cares about. Don't forget the 5 versions of the game you could have bought. When you start your game out like that, it all begins to sort of just feel soulless. Now, my main gripe is about the main gameplay hook, recruit everyone. The draw to this is that you can literally recruit anyone. An old lady playing darts, a security guard for Albion, a hipster, or some people you meet in a fight club. Anyone is an option. Now, on paper, it sounds smart, right? It's pretty unique. But when it's developed in a hollow fashion is when the Ubisoft deceit begins to sink in. First thing I noticed is most NPCs have about maybe 5 voice actors. Then they adjust the pitch of the voice to make it seem different. I actually got an NPC that was an old man but sounded like a teenager, and a young guy that sounded like an old man. I believe they are randomly generated, such as so one Redditor posted a NPC he recruited who was a pediatrician. Pretty interesting, right? That this person leads the life of a pediatrician. But they ended up, one of their bios was that they got fired because they dated their patients. As funny and as weird as that is, to find that character in the world, it's lazy. Now, you might be asking, why is it lazy? All they do is change the voice actors and write weird profiles for their characters. Well, you've come to the right video. It's lazy because Ubisoft could have wrote a main character to the story. They could have written a reason for Marcus or Aiden to head to London. That's easy. Now, I don't know what happens at the end of Marcus' story. I never really finished Watch Dogs 2. I guess I could have looked up a YouTube video. I don't care enough, really. But they could have chosen Marcus or Aiden to head to London, but they didn't. And what I did notice is in the DLC store that they constantly advertise to you, Aiden is in the DLC. So there you go. You want an interesting character? Pay for the DLC season pass. DLC season pass. My bad. Christ. I'm sure in less than a month of release, Ubisoft will make a teaser trailer for the DLC. I'm calling it. They do that with Assassin's Creed, where it's like, damn, you created such a big world, right? And I'm still exploring it and wanting to take my time with it, but god dang, you're already putting out so much DLC that I want to get started on because every media outlet is already reviewing it because they binged the game within a week. Anyways, I didn't finish the game. In fact, I only played a couple of missions until I realized how soulless it was. At a certain point of gathering tech points, I sighed and realized that I was bored. And the recruited character I was playing was just not interesting, so I uninstalled the game. You want to know my NPC storyline? It's really interesting, guys. They were generated out of a black void while I was walking by, and I clicked recruit. That's it. There's no other story. Literally, NPCs you see, they don't care. Ubisoft doesn't care. They just said, we gotta make them come out of somewheres, right? Let's generate characters around the player who is running around. And they literally open the door, and there's a black void, and people just pop in from existence out of the black void of the door that seemingly is everywhere around London. Now, I did think one interesting feature was when I saw the robot NPCs had families, and often the family would generate. There's no robot NPCs, by the way. I just think the NPCs are robots. They feel like robots. But the NPCs had family, and often the family would generate near them. I did like that touch. It helped suspend my sadness for just a moment. Let me get this straight, right? This game has moments of greatness, specifically the first mission where it introduces you to the game world. It's great, but also, spoilers, they kill off the first character you play as within 30 minutes. Arguably the most interesting character. He was some sort of hacker or businessman. Other moments I did really enjoy is when they introduce puzzle elements into engagements. The puzzles are simple. Fix the line stuff or use the spider bot to parkour into an area. Those are good gameplay designs, but it weirdly isn't the core of the game. Just something tacked on to make press A to hack more interesting. Speaking of, I'd like to make a counterpoint. I do really, not a counterpoint, but another point is The spider bot is probably one of the most funnest things. I could play a game just with the spider bot. Okay, so Ubisoft, you heard it here first. When you release DLC just for the spider bot, make sure you pay me my royalties, because you could scrap the whole game and just let me play as this spider bot and take down people in violent fashion with the spider bot. Why do I care more about this damn spider bot than I do the main character, guys? But many gameplay moments in Watch Dogs Legion don't even involve hacking. There are red bases scattered across the map, and the idea is to get the loot inside of said bases, right? Well, here's the cool way to take it down, right? Cue spy music. Hack a sky drone. Use it to grab some boxes and drop it on enemies' heads. That is always fun, I gotta say. And then they'll be alerted so that a drone is hacking, and they'll try to turn it off. So they'll be alerted, so make sure you set some traps for them to run into. I think that'd be fun. Finally, to finish off, send in your spider drone to disable them. We stand Spiderbot. But here is how it normally goes down. This is typically how you think it goes down versus how it normally goes down. Go into a base, get spotted by the annoying security drone. Yeah, why in their game is there these security drones that just fly around that you can't destroy without making noise in the beginning of the game? And it ruins the whole stealth aspect of the game, because they will notice you and they go, alert, alert, alert. The only course of option now, though, when you get spotted by that drone, is to pull out your weird 3D printed handgun and headshot everyone. If they overwhelm you, just punch them. For some reason, Old Lady's fists are more capable than Jason Bourne in this game. Like, I think at one point with the old lady, I had to hand-to-hand combat about an entire base just for the hell of it, because it's that easy. And I had permadeath turned on. That was an interesting feature too, permadeath. But of course, your characters are bullet sponges. But you do see how weird this all is, right? With this old lady, I'm doing Assassin's Creed takedowns. I'm getting in brawls with the security force armed to the teeth. It all seems hollow. I want to know why this lady is involved with DedSec. Why she is choosing now to get involved and become a killing machine for the sake of, I don't know, rebel against the system. But I won't get that. Instead, you get press Y to recruit and do generic generated mission, red zone, to gain favor. And now you can play as this crippled 80-year-old. That's fun. Which it is, but it's only fun for a moment until you realize how incapable they made them. Now, by incapable, let me finish my point on this. Why is every old person about 70 in this game walk like they just went to get a checkup from their doctor? My grandparents move quicker than most 20-year-olds. It could work, right? And at first when I played this, it was fun. But you quickly realize that, like, the rose-tinted glasses sort of get taken off, and you see really the things making like happen in the game. That's my sentence. I'm smooth braiding. You see really like the mechanics of the world, and it just, once that's over, it's over. The magic is gone. And it doesn't help that it's a buggy and weird mess of a game. So now, what hurts the most, and why you won't see Watch Dogs for probably another 5 years, is because they released the game next to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, another annual Ubisoft franchise. It's also another Goobified game, but with more promise. It's similar to when EA released Titanfall 2 next to a Battlefield 1, I believe. Now, we haven't gotten a Titanfall in ages because of it. We do have Apex Legends, but ultimately it's not Titanfall. Ubisoft ate their own game sales in case with Watch Dogs Legion. And it's basically, in my eyes, it's not a commercial failure, but it will be. In the future, it will still be a commercial failure. Like, not at the moment, but it will within a couple months' time when no one is playing it. Everyone's playing the new AAA games. But, so basically the game made numbers, but it's not played much as of right now in due of all the AAA games being released. I have to give it to Ubisoft, though. They knew what they were doing. They knew they released a subpar game and had to make up for it with Assassin's Creed. So we could all forget about the buggy, boring mess that is Watch Dogs Legion. Because guess what? Valhalla is a great game. It's fun and does everything right for a For Honor game. I actually wanted to start the video with calling the new game coming out by Ubisoft For Honor Valhalla, but that's a joke that rings hollow, and I may just end up making a video for it. But like I said, that's a topic for another day. Anyways, if you play Watch Dogs Legion, the spider bot is fun and London is cool. That's it though. Have a good day, everyone. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'll try to do more retrospects on this when I feel passionate about a game I love being ruined. So I'm sure that'll be plenty of them in the next couple of months. So have a good day, everyone. Bye. Also, I know I just said bye, but I also live stream on Twitch if you guys want to watch at manlydogs.com/Twitch. Oh, that's not how it goes. Twitch.tv/manlydogs. Peace out, guys. I'll leave the link in the description. Now I'm actually leaving.